Hello everyone, it's Mary Polanco here today sharing with you this very simple card using the vintage cookbook stamp set and some Jane Davenport watercolor markers. So these are a lot of fun to play with. I had a blast. Their vibrancy is off the charts. So I'm just quickly showing you, they are set up like the glitter gel pens where you have to remove that little green piece and then you just squeeze out the product. And a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to show you a few different ways that I made some backgrounds, and then we'll finish off one of the cards. I'm going to put each of the colors that I plan to use right there on my glass mat, and then we will get to the fun. So one thing I like about these is they already are the brush. So it's like watercolor that I can just put down. I don't have to use a separate brush. They are very, very inky though, so I would not recommend opening them over your project because you might drip the ink onto it. So the first thing I'm going to do here is take my water bottle and I'm going to spritz this watercolor cardstock. Then I'm going to drop in the colors one at a time. Now the more wet your paper is, the more you're going to get that really cool spreading look, like right here with the blue. There is a little drop of water, or a little puddle if you will, right on the cardstock there. So you get this really cool feathering type of look. So I'm going in and I'm doing that with all of them. I'm dropping it. Now this one didn't have enough water, so I went and I just spritzed it a little bit. Then I went back in with a darker pink and a darker purple, and that's gonna really just kind of make that a lot more vibrant. I plan on doing some white heat embossing, and so the darker the color, the more that white is going to pop up. I'm going to take my heat tool here. This is from Ranger, and I am just going to heat that. This is a very low heat and not a lot of wind from the actual dryer, so I like that because it heat sets it almost exactly as it is. Now I'm going to put the color back onto my mat, and I'm going to pick it up with some watercolor cardstock, and you're going to get a little bit of a different look. You're going to get a little bit more blending, and you just want to be careful that you don't get too much of the colors that will make mud. So right here I have all of these markers that I am just putting straight down onto dry cardstock. This is watercolor cardstock. I am not going to add any water. I just really wanted to get that brush look, that artsy look, and I thought that was fun. So here's just some of the different backgrounds that I got. Now I do make a background with the lined one that I showed you last over on my channel if you want to check that out. Here I'm going to pull out the stamp set and we are going to have some fun. Now I did show you a little bit here, one of the examples where I stamped it, but I'm actually going to redo it and I'm going to show you how I got that look. I am going to cut down my card panel. Now it's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I am going to use my anti-static powder bag, which I did not show, but I do that. And then I'm also going to use some Scrapbook.com clear embossing ink. I poured the white ink over it, the white powder over it, and then I heat set it. Now, what I noticed was there was missing pieces. So when you do that, that's why a stamping tool is so great. I went right back and re-stamped it, re-powdered it, and then when I heat set it, you're going to see a stark difference between the way it was and the way it is now. So I think part of that reason is I didn't press hard enough, and so you can double stamp it, and that's again what's great about that tool. So here's an example of a way to fix it if you don't use a tool. I'm going to again ink, powder, heat set, but there's a lot of black showing in that sentiment. So first I'm going to bubble cut it, which is where I just cut it right outside the letters. It gives it a nice little different look than just a regular rectangle. And I'm going to put some Scrapbook.com foam adhesive on the back. I love this size of it, fits perfect. I'm going to place that right down, and then I'm going to go in with my jelly roll pen, my white jelly roll pen, and I'm going to fill in those letters. So I just duplicate the font. It's not like I'm making the font, so it's really hard to mess up. Now I looked through this rose set of cardstock because it is gorgeous. But I realized it didn't quite fit the theme I was going for with this super bright card. So I went in and I decided on a color that was almost charcoal but brown. So it's from a different set of cards. Pack of colored cardstock. And I thought that was fun because it reminded me of chocolate. Anything that reminds me of chocolate is fun. So I'm going to do one of my favorite techniques here, and that is glue, glitter, and a sponge. And you just pick it up and you put it right on there, and you get glitter everywhere, and it stays. It doesn't rub off. I love it, and the glue dries clear. So that's it for the card. Thank you so much for stopping by and for checking this out. If you're interested in the items I use, they will be linked below in the description box. And we will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.